What's going on? My phone is.
I don't know what's going on here.
My TV's doing something here. Let me see.
Oh my goodness!
What's that?
Who's joining us?
Hey guys, thought I might crash your little watch party. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm looking at I don't know if you're synced up with me, but I'm looking at you and
Ma Kent.
Ma Kent at the what are you gonna do? What's your plan?
Oh, nice. In the cemetery?
Yeah, are you gonna like maybe get a job at a newspaper?
Oh, something like that. Somewhere I can keep my ear to the ground.
Something like that. That's right. Oh yeah, and then this baby Clark and his baby Clark and his dog. That was me running around the yard with the trying to get that dog not to bite.
Was left at that point.
Will we get that?
I can tell you nothing.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome
nothing,
if that happens.
It would indeed be.
So, you want to tell me that Henry Cavill, along with the Man of Steel watch-along when he came along, is like, yo guys, let's talk Superman, let's talk Man of Steel. He was part of the whole, the Snyder Cut's coming guys, I can't wait for you to see it, I'm so excited to be a part of it. So we have an event called DC Fandom Event. If you don't know guys, AT&T are running the show now. Warner Bros are doing exactly what AT&T say. So you're telling me that Henry Cavill, the English beast, the English handsome fella, is not going to be involved with DC Fandom Event the same way that Jason Momoa is not going to be involved, the same way that Ben Affleck's not going to be involved. So you're telling me the only people that are going to be involved with this show, with this expo, with this experience from the Snyder Cut is Ezra Miller, when they've been, you know, making that Flash movie since the Flash season 1. You know, he's going to be there. Made a slight mistake in a previous video when I said it wasn't. That's because Warner Bros have been very quiet about the Flash movie because no one really knows what's going on with that. Until they start shooting it, I will not believe it's coming. And obviously, Gal Gadot is obviously there as well. So what is good, YouTube? Wash you here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. I hope you're having a smashing day. It's very hot in here in England today. It's 30 degrees, which is kind of like Mexico, Cancun weather. For us, it's freaking hot. So, if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to the channel to never miss any videos. At the 100,000 subscriber mark, I will be doing something so darn special. So, we know we are getting a Superman reveal at the DC Fandom event from the point of view of Rocksteady's next game, the Suicide Squad versus the Justice League, which is going to be cool. It's going to be cool to see which platform it's on. So we know there's going to be some Superman reveal. So, like I said in a previous video, I have been told since around the same time the Snyder Cut news came out from the same person that told me the Snyder Cut was real 6 months ago. He has told me that Henry Cavill had a discussion with Warner Bros. And the higher-uppers. And also Zack Snyder had a conversation as well with the higher-uppers about doing a Superman movie. Now, we don't know if it is Man of Steel 2, Man of Tomorrow, but all that kind of thing. But we know it realistically could happen. It's just a bit weird that Henry Cavill was such a pinnacle part of releasing this information that people like me, real YouTubers that have been covering this Justice League Snyder Cut, not some of these creators that keep jumping on it just for traction. I'm here talking about things that you guys want me to talk about. I do get a lot of Instagram messages every single day, but what, Stu, you were wrong about this. I will have a friendly conversation with you guys on Instagram any day. But recently, guys, I've been getting some trolls contacting me, which I'm just not going to respond about the Flash Ezra Miller in a previous video is because I wasn't really told anything about that, to be honest. We've been hearing about this Flash movie for years and years. The only real prerequisite we have of this Flash movie being real is the Michael Keaton story, you know, and the Jeffrey Dean Morgan story. And the Ben Affleck's going to appear in the Flash movie as well, but you don't believe that, but some people believe Michael Keaton. So let me get this straight, guys. Michael Keaton can return. You know, he's not been Batman for many years. He's also Vulture in the MCU. But Batfleck can't because he was an alcoholic, which was really blown out of proportion. It really was. DC has had a massive upswing in the last 24 hours. The whole of DC has literally changed hands for the better. So this recently came out. Monday's Warner Bros. Layoff have affected a significant number of higher-level figures at comic book powerhouse DC. Multiple sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. To be fair, that is a good source. I feel really bad for them. But essentially what's happening is they're getting rid of the DC Universe app, and they're merging new divisions, and they're expanding essentially to get better, so to speak. And what is interesting is Tom Taylor, who is a massive person at DC, had this to say. Should say, for all those taking this the wrong way, this in response to rumor people losing their jobs. DC Comics aren't going anywhere. We have a lot planned. Just feeling sorry for any friends affected. So DC has had a lot of upswing, a lot of changes since AT&T came in, and they kept seeing hundreds of thousands of millions of people talking about the Snyder Cut. And they were like, okay, we've got all this footage. It's not used. Zack Snyder is literally on board. Let's make it. I mean, really, it makes sense. And we've pretty much had confirmation now that the DCEU is finally Chief Creative Officer Jim Lee overseeing creativity of all DC-related growth in the company. So what this means is the DCEU has finally arrived already, which is cool. And this is part of the article that is going on about the layoffs, the restructuring, which is, I really do feel for people. It's such a bad time. It's always a bad time for people to be laid off, but during this kind of world event that's going on at the moment, it's just such a bad time. There's so many cool, talented people. I don't know if you read DC Comics, but the most recent DC Rebirth is pretty darn cool. So that's cool in a way. So it means we essentially, I think essentially what it's saying is, eventually, everything's going to be going across to HBO Max, and all the content is going to be under the same brand, rather than being subsets of the brands like DC Universe, then there being the CW-verse, and all this kind of stuff. It's a bit weird how they were pushing shows like Titans on the DC Universe when it had correlation to the CW-verse, so to speak. So I will leave this article down below. I'm not going to go over this article, but it is interesting how this comes out just before DC Fandom event, and I see some Twitter accounts getting worried that this is going to affect some of the announcement. The DC Fandom event, no guys, it's not going to affect anything. Warner Bros. Themselves have known about this for such a long time, but DC will get better and better. At the moment, in the internet's opinion, in my opinion, DC is in a much better position than Marvel. It's very good to have friendly competition. At the moment, DC has so much in the pipeline. So does Marvel. I'm glad they're both getting back on track. Apparently, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Shang-Chi started shooting in Western Australia, or was just about to. It's so cool that all these movies are going to start coming, because in 2021, it's going to be such a fun time, guys. It really is. We've got The Batman 2021. We've got Wonder Woman 1984, which, I mean, it could be decent. I really hope they execute, but it's such an exciting time to be a fan of both DC and Marvel. But from everything that we hear here, it does look like DC is setting up a massive Aquaman 2 announcement and a Superman announcement with Henry Cavill, because they've left both Jason Momoa and Henry Cavill off the list, which is weird because James Wong's there. I've not probably looked at the kind of list properly and in depth, but from what I've read, neither on there. I mean, the evidence is there. I mean, I might add these clips into said video that we're making right now. You know, the Witcher clip when Henry Cavill Superman essentially says he's Superman. There's the clips that's going around from Ace Comic Con, courtesy of DC Whirlpool, where he, like years ago, a few years back now, where Henry Cavill said they're talking some things out, there's just some issues, but he really wants to do it. You can see throughout all the Witcher press junket back in December 2019 that your boy Henry Cavill is so darn committed to being Superman. When he had that interview recently with Patrick Stewart, he readdressed again what playing Superman meant and means to him. So this agenda that I see people saying that Henry Cavill doesn't want to be Superman anymore is just ridiculous. So like always, guys, I'm here. I will answer comments. I'm not this YouTuber that will say, yo guys, please comment down below, we'll have a conversation. I will literally have a conversation with you. I find it frustrating that other creators take their following for granted, take their views for granted, all that kind of stuff. Because if someone, like, spends a few minutes writing a comment, at least have the comment decency to comment back to them. So if you want a conversation, if you think I'm wrong that Man of Steel 2 is not going to be announced because your boy WarStew's been saying it forever, that is because I get told things, guys. I'm not a scooper, I'm not an insider, but we here on this channel, there's no channel on YouTube like me, and that does not make me egotistical or does not make me have a big ego, because I cover literally anything. Leaks from 4chan, leaks from Reddit, and I report it like it's leaked. I get told stuff behind the scenes from all these big Twitter influencers who would not like me to say their names, so I generally, it looked like we might be getting a Bizarro version. I mean, there's so much that's going to happen at DC Thumbnail event. We've even got your boy Boss Logic, who now is teasing Injustice 3, which would be pretty damn cool. But we here on this channel, we're honest, we're genuine, we're real. I play video games. I don't just make these video game content for content. I make all these videos like the God of War content, the Arkham content, because I literally play it. If you go on my PSN at WarStew, I've got like 50 people in the rest. But if you want to request me, we can play some stuff. We're going to play some Marvel Avengers together. It's going to be fun. But guys, I'm so honest with this channel. I tell you how it is. So don't ever take anything I say too serious unless I tell you I've been told it. Like I said, I've been told that conversations happened between Warner Bros. And Zack Snyder to be the executive producer for a Man of Steel property. You know, like the Supergirl rumor that was going around for a long time. I mean, I told you a few weeks back that I was told that Brie Larson was going to be Supergirl from an insider that most of you people watching this video respect. But for some reason, I didn't say his name because it's kind of irrelevant. But if that ever becomes true, and 99% it won't become true, then you'll be like, oh yeah, WarStew said that beforehand. Yo, cool. But yeah, guys, I'm just trying to be honest, trying to be transparent with you guys like we are always on this channel. I will be starting a podcast soon. I put up something in the community tab, essentially saying I want to start a podcast once a week, maybe get some guests in, maybe get some other YouTubers in, maybe bring some fans in, or viewers, whatever you want to call them, and we talk about all Marvel, DC, video games, all that kind of stuff. Maybe do it once a week. If you could give me some ideas down below for what we could call it, like the WarStew Cats, WarStew Podcasts, WarStew Talks, Popcorn. I don't know. Just come with some ideas down below, guys, and the best one I will use, and then send the prize out if I end up using whatever name. I think it should have a cool name. So like always, guys, thank you very much for all the love and support recently. I've really been loving it. I've been taking a step back to make less videos, but try and make the videos better for you guys. If ever you guys ever want to help me with the content, I am looking for some kind of graphics work to be done, and maybe occasionally for some editors and stuff. So if you do have serious interest in maybe helping me with that kind of stuff, always reach out to me, warstewbusiness@gmail.com. It is for me connecting with companies and stuff like that. But if you do have any actual kind of, yo, WarStew, I could help you do this, I can do this, I can make you a new thumbnail, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, I'd always take it into consideration. And if any companies do want to work with me, we have worked with some huge companies like BenQ, you know, we worked with Square Enix, we worked with WB Games. So yeah, we've worked with a lot of big companies before. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.